Okay. How do I work here?
Before you continue to this small procedural aspects that deals with the declaration of the precinct of the legislature, that I, Honorable Bandile Masuku, chairperson of the Community Safety Committee, I declare that Thabo Eco Hotel as a precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature in terms of Rule 56 of the Standing Rules of Gauteng Legislature, they together with Section 1 and Section 2 and Section 28 of the Powers, Privileges.
And of course, that was a member of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature and chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety, that is Dr. Bandile Masuku, just laying the foundations ahead of this all-important delivery of those stats this morning. And just reiterating that over the past few months, Gauteng has seen a worrying surge in violent crimes, from hijackings and robberies to deadly shootings and gender-based violence, and says it's a sobering reminder that for many, daily lives involves navigating a landscape of fear, and went on to also condemn the acts of violence we saw in communities such as Rivoli and Westbury. Let's take you back there.
Honorable Chairperson, before I can do the formal greetings, thank you very much. I think it's befitting that the arrangement is superb on my birthday. I had at least a breakfast before I could appear before the Portfolio Committee. Honorable Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety, Dr. Bandile Masuku, the Honorable Chair of Chairs, Honorable Members, the management of the law enforcement agency, stakeholders present here, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson and members of the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety, for inviting the South African Police Service to present the fourth quarter crime statistics, mainly for January to March 2025. As we are presenting the crime statistics, I want to emphasize that as law enforcement, we are mindful that behind every number, there is a human being, a family, and communities are affected. Crime reported as reflected on the crime statistics is mainly focused on 21 priority crimes grouped into two main types, namely the 17 community reported serious crimes and 4 crimes that are detected as a result of police action. Honorable members, crime statistics in Gauteng has moved towards downward trend as we made progress in a fight against crime by recording a 7.9% decrease, which translates to 8,393 counts on 17 community reported serious crimes for the 3 months under review. The decrease is a positive trajectory as we take into account the provincial high population and the other various factors. Honorable Chairperson and members, We are also mindful that the province still accounts 26.2% to the national overall crime picture. In other words, out of 100, the other provinces, they are sharing the remaining percentages. Honorable Chairperson, members, the breakdown of the crime subcategories goes as follows. Firstly, is contact crimes. Contact crimes are crimes committed against persons, and the province in this broad category has decreased by 8.5%, which translates to 3,864 counts. Within this category, murder was reduced by 10.8%, Honorable Chairperson and members. We just want to reflect as well the causative factors for murders. What came out clearly, it is argument, misunderstanding, road rage, provocation, closely followed by robbery. Most of the murders within our province are mainly committed at a public place and then at the residence of the victims or perpetrators. Honorable Chairperson and members, the province had a challenge of multiple murders. The multiple murders have contributed to 75 dockets with 191 victims to the province's murder rate. For the highest number of people killed, just to reflect, we had 2 incidents where 7 victims were murdered on the same crime scene. These incidents happened in Soshanguve and Kagiso. In Soshanguve, we know the well-known informal settlement which came forth because of this incident called Marry Me. Preliminary investigation suggests that the community patrollers had some sort of a quarrel with the certain grouping which was suggested to be a security company. This resulted in patrollers being stoned, shot at, partially burned. The police and the Hawks moved swiftly and arrested the perpetrators of this horrific crime. We are, of course, grateful to the community for coming forward, as you have indicated, Honorable Chairperson, that we need to work closely with the community. The cooperation of the community assisted us greatly in cracking the case. 3 accused are now facing the full mighty of the law. In Kagiso, a group of suspects torched 4 vehicles, a shack, and a spaza shop, and randomly shooting at people. 7 lifeless bodies were found on the street with gun wounds, of which there were 6 men and 1 woman. 3 people were injured. We ultimately had 2 arrests. Following this incident and the concern of the community, we have followed up with the maximum deployment in terms of targeted areas for cordon and search. The maximum resources were deployed. As I've indicated, cordon and search operation was conducted. During the operation, we arrested 19 suspects, of which 5 were illegal immigrants, and the other 14 were charged with different crimes such as dealing in drugs. We were, of course, be in a position to confine possession of unlicensed firearms and possessions of explosives. Reflecting on the attack on rural communities, Honorable Chairperson and members, the province had one incident reported for the 3-month under review at West Honoria, West Rand District. This happened on the 1st of February 2025, with the exact time 7:30 as reported. An African man was killed during a robbery at a farm where 3 cows, 2 goats, 2 sheep were stolen. The reflection of the police killings, Honorable Chairperson, members, murder of our police officers for the period under review is 11 police officials, of which 1 member was killed while on duty and 10 while off duty. The Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, known as the Hawks, deal with the police killing cases. For the period under review, 5 suspects were arrested, and the investigators are hard at work following the leads to trace more suspects. Honorable Chairperson, members, we will not be deterred. We are strengthening our effort and ensure that we put our operational plan in ensuring that we move with the threat. We also move to the community in ensuring that as and when we engage the community through those Imbizos awareness campaign and the community outreach program, we will, of course, resolve most of the crimes. We must indicate that within the period under review, we managed to have 3,135 community engagement within the province. This includes the engagement through the local police stations, as we know for the fact that we have directed that Wednesdays be the dates of the week where we have to keep in touch with our community. We will, of course, continue to work with the communities in ensuring that the criminals do not have a place to hide. Moving to the other subcategory, which is sexual offenses. The sexual offenses is reduced by 2.1%. One must indicate, Honorable Chairperson, members, that the Family Violence, Child Protection and Sexual Offenses maintains a comprehensive approach to address sexual offenses, from enforcement to education, community engagement. For the period under review, they have arrested 1,112 sexual offenders, presented 1,356 cases in court, and secured convictions for 102 offenders, resulting in 28 life sentences and an additional of 900 years imprisonment. The efforts undertaken extend beyond the law enforcement, with 127 awareness campaigns reaching 12,300 individuals, including 4,250 adults and 8,050 children. The campaigns focus on strengthening partnership with the stakeholders and promoting the importance of reporting sexual offenses and gender-based violence and femicide. The third crime subcategory is a robbery with aggravating circumstances. As we move forward, we have reduced violent crime. For the period under review, reduced this subcategory of crime by 8.9%. Car hijacking under the above subcategory was reduced by 2.7%. Robbery at residential premises by 6.2%. Robbery at non-residential premises reduced by 25%. However, the cash in transit robberies, truck hijackings have increased by one count, of which is translated to 0.4%. Honorable Chairperson, members, there are notable arrests which we recorded during the period under review. The reflection is on hijacking cars and trucks. We arrested 292 suspects and recovered 837 hijacked stolen vehicles. Robbery at residential and non-residential premises, we arrested 473 suspects. Kidnapping, which it is a concern, Honorable Chairperson, honorable members in our province. For the 3 months under review, we recorded an increase of kidnapping by 15.8%. A sample was taken of a size of 2,341 cases, which were analyzed by the province to determine the circumstances and causative factors for kidnappings within the province. Amongst others, we had hijacking and attempts. We have 1,338 cases, which is carrying a high percentages. Robbery related 356. Ransom demand or demanded 144. Extortion 20. Human trafficking 3. Honorable Chairperson and members, through our collaboration and through the link of the National Anti-Kidnapping Team Counterintelligence, the province has arrested 88 suspects linked to 62 cases of kidnapping and rescued 77 victims of kidnapping during the period under review. We are, of course, working closely together with our stakeholders to combat the kidnapping syndicate operating within the province. We are, of course, thankful to the Business Against Crime South Africa for partnership through the Eyes and Ears initiatives, of which we do have memorandum of understanding signed by the National Commissioner and our partners. We are able to deploy the technology resources from Business Against Crime South Africa links to the security industry, as we utilize the security officers as a force multiplier when conducting the takedowns for the majority of the operations for these kidnappings. We are also thankful for cooperation agreements, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable members, which is now have been extended to the local municipalities by the Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi. As of yesterday, we were in Tembisa with the Premier. This cooperation agreement ensures that the sharing of valuable resources amongst law enforcement agencies. We are in a position to conduct high visibility operation within the province with Metro Police, Gauteng Traffic Wardens, local traffic, community policing forum, community in blue patrollers, and all other social partners for fight against crime, side by side. The subcategory for crime detected as a result of police action, Honorable Chairperson, members, as we move the length and breadth of our province, where our presence is seen and felt on the ground, we were in a position to apprehend suspects for different crimes. For the 3 months under review, suspects arrested for this subcategory were as follows: illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. We have recorded 1,035 cases. When we compare with the other provinces, Gauteng recorded the highest number of firearms and ammunition recovered. Drug-related offenses, we recorded 11,365 arrests. Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, we have recorded 6,689 cases. Sexual offenses detected as a result of a police action, we recorded 443. As I draw to the conclusion, let me mention the success we have achieved through Operation Shanyela. Week in, week out, we are on the ground, Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, and I am leading from the front. The total suspect arrested for various crimes for the period under review for Operation Shanyela is 28,851, including 8,110 illegal immigrants. 3,682 suspects were arrested for contact crimes, including 116 arrests for murder and 108 for attempted murder. Detectives secured conviction where 25 murder accused were sentenced to a combined 6 life imprisonment terms and 256 years in prison. 1,527 arrests for assault GBH, 1,306 for assault common. 3,105 suspects arrested for liquor-related offenses, where we closed 1,047 liquor outlets and seized over 90 million milliliters of liquor. 6,750 illegal firearms seized, including amnesty and volunteered handed over firearms, and 6,189 rounds ammunition. In conclusion, Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, we acknowledge that there's still much work to be done. And as we move forward, we will continue to foster collaboration with our stakeholders in ensuring that we improve the safety and security of our communities. As together, we can do more. This will ensure that we are building stronger and safer communities. Honorable Chairperson and members, allow me to hand over to the Provincial Crime Register Brigadier Mpho Chakalani to present to you the comprehensive crime statistics for the fourth quarter of 2024-2025 financial year. I thank you.
Thank you, PC. As we prepare to go through the stats, let me further welcome the Deputy Speaker, Ms. Manamela, and also welcome the Chairperson of the...
So that's the Gauteng Provincial Commissioner there delivering the quarter four crime stats for the Gauteng province. There's of course lots to digest looking at the crime trends and the trajectory thereof. And of course, starting with the latest crime statistics from the province, the top cop says this is a province that continues to grapple with high levels of criminal activity. Now he says the South African Police Service has of course released this against the backdrop of some of the alarming stats in the province. Now, in the latest data, it indicates a mixed picture for